Robinhood is introducing forecast contracts so you can trade the presidential election. Through Robinhood, you can now trade financial derivatives contracts on who will win the U.S. presidential election, Harris or Trump, and watch as contract prices react to real-time market sentiment. Each contract you own will pay $1 on January 8, 2025 if that candidate is confirmed as the next U.S. president by Congress. Learn more about the presidential election contracts on Robinhood at www.robinhood.com/election. The risk of loss in trading commodity interests can be substantial. You should therefore carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your financial condition. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Commodity interest trading is not appropriate for everyone. Displayed prices are based on real-time market sentiment. This event contract is offered by Robinhood Derivatives, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm. Exchange and regulatory fees apply. Learn more at www.robinhood.com/election.
On today's Smart 7, America heads to the polls, Starmer steps up plans to smash channel gangs, and lots more. It's Tuesday, 5th of November, it's Guy Fawkes night, and happy birthday, Kevin Jonas.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
Monday marked the final day of campaigning in the US presidential election. Now, the world will wait and watch to see what happens when voting ends on Tuesday night, with most pollsters describing the race as too close to call. There are some positive signs for Kamala Harris. She remains ahead on the national polls, and there's been a significant number of women voting early, but it's still impossible to tell how the election will turn out. Introduced by Oprah on Monday night, Harris took to the final stage in front of 30,000 people in Philadelphia and remained positive in her final plea to voters.
Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win!
And after a weekend of accusations about election interference and ranting about how he should never have left the White House back in 2021, Donald Trump returned to his campaign theme of immigration and threatening mass deportations on day one if elected. With a last-minute endorsement by Joe Rogan, he was staying positive on his chances of winning too.
So essentially, they have an expression, I hate the expression actually, but it's ours to lose. Does that make sense to you? It's ours to lose. If we get everybody out and vote, there's not a thing they can do.
Monday saw new Tory leader Kemi Badenoch begin to make appointments to her shadow cabinet. Some familiar faces are back in the front row, including rival Robert Jenrick as Justice Secretary and Priti Patel making a return, this time as Shadow Foreign Secretary. Prime Minister Keir Starmer was also focused on crime and the Channel on Monday as he announced plans to seek a new security deal with European allies at an Interpol conference in Glasgow. The deal may include more cooperation with Italy, and he's also announced an additional £75 million for the Border Security Command.
There is nothing progressive about turning a blind eye as men, women and children die in the Channel. This is a vile trade that must be stamped out wherever it thrives.
Home Secretary Yvette Cooper says that the government is determined to smash the people trafficking gangs in the Channel, and it's time for the UK to get much more involved.
The UK's not really been part of that cooperation for far too many years. We're saying now we want to play a leading role in that law enforcement cooperation and actually going after the smuggler gangs wherever they operate.
Labour has only just bounced back from a storm of opposition and media criticism over last week's budget, but now they're under fire over a new plan to increase tuition fees. University fees have been capped at £9,250 since 2017, but now an inflation-linked increase has been approved for 2025. It comes as universities struggle with funding in the face of inflation, but the move was immediately criticised by students' unions. Labour Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson has pledged to raise the student maintenance loans to assist those on low incomes. She also says that students with loans don't need to be worried.
From April 2025, we will be increasing the maximum cap for tuition fees in line with inflation to £9,535. Now, I understand some students may worry about the impact this increase will have on their loan debt. When you start repaying your loan, you will not see higher monthly repayments. That's because student loans are not like consumer loans.
Monday saw Moldova hold off Russian election interference to re-elect their pro-Western president Maia Sandu. She secured 54% of the vote against her opponent, Russia-friendly Alexander Stoyanoglu, following up on the narrow victory in the previous EU referendum 2 weeks ago. The voting, much like Georgia's election, saw a concentrated effort by Vladimir Putin's forces to influence voters through intimidation and vote-buying schemes. Germany's foreign minister condemned what she called a massive coordinated attempt to prevent Moldovans in Germany voting, which included bomb threats at polling stations. President Sandu gave thanks to her compatriots on Monday.
Today, dear Moldovans, you have given a lesson in democracy worthy of being written in history books. Today, you have saved Moldova. No one lost today in our choice for a dignified future.
Still to come on the Smart 7, Man United's new manager faces Man City and why James Blunt is definitely not cool. Right after this.
Explaining football to the friend who's just there for the nachos? Hard. Tailgating from home like a pro with snacks and drinks everyone will love? An easy win. And with Instacart helping deliver the snack time MVPs to your door, you're ready for the game in as fast as 30 minutes. So you never miss a play or lose your seat on the couch or have to go head-to-head for the last chicken wing. Shop Game Day Faves on Instacart and enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 grocery orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Other fees and terms apply.
Welcome back. There was one game in the Premier League on Monday as Fulham hosted Brentford. It ended with a late win for Fulham, finishing 2-1 and putting them up to 9th in the table. Manchester United's new manager Ruben Amorim is due to start at Old Trafford next Monday, while the Premier League is on an international break. Before that, his current side Sporting CP are due to face Manchester City in the Champions League on Tuesday night, and he's keeping his fingers crossed for a surprise win. He was asked about his decision to become United's 5th manager in 6 years, and he was keeping his answer simple.
My decision has been made, and that's the club I want to work for, that's the context I want to work in, and that's where I want to continue my career as a coach. So the decision is a decision that I thought about. I wanted Manchester United, and that's what I did.
If things had gone a little differently, we could be telling you a story about music artist Blunty McBluntface. But sadly, James Blunt's plan to change his name to one of fans' choosing didn't work out. He was hoping his album, Back to Bedlam, would hit #1 on the streaming charts to mark its 20th anniversary, but the gamble didn't pay off, and he remains a Blunt. James has still been busy promoting the album, and he popped on Virgin Radio to tell a rather odd story about the first ever concert he went to.
First gig, and it was me. Me and my mate Billy had convinced a whole load of people to come from where we came, our neck of the woods, Chelsea. All the girls, all these blonde girls arrived, and they sat on their pashminas, and the owners of the Water Rats, they had never seen anything like it. It was the least rock and roll concert they'd ever seen in their lives.
Monday morning brought sad news for music fans as the death of legendary music producer Quincy Jones was announced. He passed away at 91 years of age, and the world of music lost one of its most versatile and creative producers. He worked on many of the biggest albums of the 20th century, including Michael Jackson's Off the Wall, Thriller and Bad, but he always said he couldn't pick a favourite artist.
How do you choose between Sinatra, Ray Charles, Aretha, Michael Jackson, Shaka Khan and 50 Cent? All you can do is just reach for those instincts and leave some room for God to walk through.
He won 28 Grammys along with the rarely awarded Grammy legend and a Medal of Honor from Barack Obama in 2011. He remained humble and down to earth, which he put down to advice he got from legendary French music teacher Nadia Boulanger in 1957. Rest in peace, Quincy.
Your music will never be more or less than you are a human being. So I've started to work on the human being.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes and we'll give you the world.
Robinhood is introducing forecast contracts so you can trade the presidential election. Through Robinhood, you can now trade financial derivatives contracts on who will win the U.S. presidential election, Harris or Trump, and watch as contract prices react to real-time market sentiment. Each contract you own will pay $1 on January 8, 2025 if that candidate is confirmed as the next U.S. president by Congress. Learn more about the presidential election contracts on Robinhood at www.robinhood.com/election. The risk of loss in trading commodity interests can be substantial. You should therefore carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your financial condition. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Commodity interest trading is not appropriate for everyone. Displayed prices are based on real-time market sentiment. This event contract is offered by Robinhood Derivatives, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm. Exchange and regulatory fees apply. Learn more at www.robinhood.com/election.